Okay, what is the STEMS program?
Student Teacher Emergency Management System. The STEMS program has taken a handful of different things and merged them together. It takes tactical combat casualty care theory and teaches it to students and teachers. It takes non-lethal devices and teaches students and teachers how to use them if necessary. And third, we take a ballistic shield that we've devised with a company called Ibistech to put into classrooms to create hard points and shielded areas that are bulletproof, so students have a place to hide if they're being threatened. Hiding under the desk provides no ballistic shield. If you go back and research all the school shootings, you can look at different parts where people were actually in their desks when they were shot. If you look at Virginia Tech, students were actually shot sitting in their desks.
Explain the non-lethal section of the program.
The non-lethal module of STEMS focuses on exactly that, a non-lethal way for teachers, faculty, even security and law enforcement to be able to address a threat. Something that comes into a lot of our training is mindset, a tactical mindset. When a teacher goes into a school in the morning, they don't have that tactical mindset because that's not their job. So our focus is we're going to give you a means to where even if you're not in that tactical mindset, you can still address a threat if something negative is coming towards you. When a teacher goes to school in the morning, their mindset is on teaching. That's their job. Just like when a law enforcement officer goes to work, his focus is on enforcing laws. Security guards, they're controlling access, things of that matter. We want specifically people to be able to focus on defeating the active shooter or the active threat. It's another thing we need to focus on. It's not necessarily a shooter, it's anything bad. So we give them a non-lethal way of addressing this, and that removes many of the factors that are going to become an issue if they don't have their mind set on actually trying to defeat this threat. Perishable skills are anything that you need to constantly train on. Teaching students, teaching teachers. Anything that's perishable is not the ideal way to do things, because unless they're going to be able to teach to continue that training on a regular basis, those skills are going to deteriorate.
Okay, one thing with the perishable skills that you're elaborating on is that in our line of work, we shoot thousands of rounds a month through a firearm to maintain those skills because we need to keep them at a certain level. The teachers don't have that experience, and we don't want them to use a method that relies on perishable skills.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, perishable skills, lack of proper mindset, lack of proper training, and then the fact that we want to put a school program together that doesn't involve guns in schools. So if you create a Fort Knox of a school with security and you've armed your teachers, why would you need to bring a gun to school? You could just take your teacher's gun when they're sitting there on the chalkboard or dry erase board teaching the course.
Absolutely.
If you look at law enforcement officers, when you talk to a law enforcement officer, they have their weapon. They're always posed in a form where they're ready to shield that weapon, because that is their focus, that is their job. When you try to take a teacher whose job it is to teach and give them that additional responsibility, what you've done is, again, you've created a false sense of security, and you've put threatening weapons into an environment where you want no weapons at all.
In this program, it utilizes the school's emergency action plan already, correct? So they don't have to relearn the whole.
All we're doing is we're taking their system and we're improving upon it. We're not reinventing the wheel. There are things that are in place that have been in place for years that are very functional. All we're doing is we're shifting them a little bit. And in that shift, we're giving people additional tools. So no sense changing their mindset on safety and security. Let's just give them an additional means to address those threats and protect those children.
Okay, here's a question that I have. Go ahead, and I want you to answer this on camera. Is there really anything as effective as carrying a gun, you know, that's going to be just as useful or effective against a threat?
Yes, there is. And we teach that in our SIMS program. Our non-lethal module gives teachers and faculty a way to address threats when they're cornered and they have no other option, they can't run, they can't get away, we're going to give them a way to address those threats.
Two of the tools we have actually will create enough diversion to stop the person from doing what they're doing and allow the teachers to follow the plan to get the students out of the area where they're supposed to be.
Right. We teach access control, and we teach hard points. And then when everyone's hard pointed and they're trying to stay away from this shooter or whatever, we give them means to address that if they are. Our focus is teaching protective security. It's not overt. No one's going after anyone. It's putting people in place to where if those hard points have been breached, you have a means of defending it. Right now, there is no means for students and teachers to defend themselves once they've been hard pointed into a place. The reason that's more effective than a gun is because do you know for sure that you're going to be able to use that gun? I know that if I give you a non-lethal device as a teacher and you need to protect yourself and you need to protect your students, you will take that out and you will use that device.
And the other thing with the non-lethal is you don't have to hit the exact target to where you're looking for. We're looking for an area,
Right.
not the individual. So you don't have to have that precise, fine motor skills.
Would I mortally wounded kid if I actually missed?
No. And that wouldn't be going through your mind like it would if you pulled out a gun to shoot someone. Because everything that comes into play when you're about to shoot someone is going to go through your mind. I know this kid. I'm about to shoot someone. I'm about to kill someone. What if I miss? What's behind there? What's behind the backdrop? All those questions are going to come into play as you're about to take that shot. And the question is, if every teacher in America had a gun, would they take that shot with all those things going through their mind? The answer is, probably not.
And not to mention the risks of taking.
The liability, absolutely. Not just for that teacher, but for the school district and everyone involved.
Right. So the other thing to think about is, if we arm people with non-lethal devices, we are creating a non-perishable skill, or we are giving them a non-perishable skill that they can utilize at any time, and the school, or wherever it is no longer a soft target for psychopaths.
Gotcha.
All our contact information is on our website. You can email us or call us directly, and we'll set up a meeting to come to your school and discuss what's appropriate. Every school is built differently, so the STEMS plan as far as training is going to be similar, but we will customize, fine-tune it, if you will, a program for each individual school.
Is this a free consultation?
This is a free consultation.